Bonjour, mes précieux citoyens.
This tutorial will show you how to animate a gacha character frame by frame using just Ibis Paint X and CapCut. That's right, no flipper clip needed. First and foremost, it is imperative we make sure the gacha avatar is in your desired pose. We shall screenshot the avatar on a blank background to use as a base in the future. On the sidebar at the top right, select Other. Then select Hide and click on body map number 1. Screenshot and tap out. Then click on body map number 2 and capture another screenshot. Tap out and click to turn off the display face. Then select the clothes icon and remove all the hats and accessories that get in the way. Navigating the head map is more complicated, as we need the blueprint for the front hair, head, face, and existing accessories. Once your avatar looks faceless like mine, tap on head map and screenshot. Tap out once more and turn the display face back on. This time turn off the display here. Go back to the clothes icon on the top right sidebar, click on accessory, and add back the facial accessories you removed. Once you have the full face ready, return to the head map and capture another screenshot. Tap out and turn off the display face once more. Return to clothes and then accessory, and remove the facial accessories again. Now go to hat and add back any existing accessories you removed. Return to the head map and screenshot each accessory individually, making sure no other accessory overlaps it. We will be tracing over each part separately in Ibis Paint, so be sure to have all the necessary components. We are finished with the Gacha Club section. Next, we head to Ibis Paint X, open the app and create a new canvas. I recommend the 3:4 proportion to make editing and animating easier. When you open the project, tap the 3 stacked squares with the number 1 at the bottom right of your screen sandwiched between the 2 arrows. This should pop up. Click on the camera icon to import your screenshots from your photo library. Select your body map 1 screenshot and tap on it. Resize the screenshot within the canvas so everything fits, but do not make it unreasonably small. When you are satisfied with it, tap the green check mark as shown. A pop-up will appear. Click Cancel. Next to background, you'll see there are 3 squares. Click the dark transparent square. Tap the paintbrush icon on the bottom left and select bucket. Click the eraser option and use the bucket to remove the entire background. Tap twice to remove for good measure. Now tap the bucket icon at the bottom left and select eraser. Use the eraser to erase the dark edges of the screenshot. If you make a mistake, click the undo button at the top left of the screen. Click on the 3 squares again and repeat the procedure to add in all the screenshots and remove their backgrounds. Import another screenshot, but this time import the full body one that we will use as a reference base. Set the opacity of the reference to around 50% and turn off the visibility. Turn off the visibility of all the layers except for the body map number 1. Go on to that layer and select the lasso tool from the pop-up menu. After clicking the eraser, select one part and circle the entire part with the lasso tool. Tap the dotted square at the top of the screen and select copy. Then click paste. Click the check mark to paste the selected item onto a new layer. Go back to the original layer and erase the part that was pasted on the new layer. Tap on the layer of the pasted part and click on the 3 dots to then rename the layer for organization purposes. To copy and paste another part onto a new layer, you must go back to your original layer with all the parts, because if you don't, you'll paste nothing but blank space. When you are done with body maps 1 and 2, move on to the head maps. First, focusing on the front hair, head, and rear hair map. We will duplicate the layer 2 times so we have 3 of the same layer. I suggest you choose the bottom layer to start with and rename it. Turn off the visibility of the 2 above layers and erase both the front hair and rear hair to leave only the head for the first of the identical layers. If there is a speck of hair on the head, such as the outline in my case, click on the eyedropper tool from the pop-up menu and then tap on the area that has been overlapped. The color of your brush should become the color you tapped on, and so you can cover up the blemish. Repeat the same procedure for the front hair and rear hair. Erase the other two coexisting parts for each of them. The face looks messy, but it is okay to leave it as it is since it's the only part on its layer, and we are going to trace over it and draw in it anyway. When you are done with the lasso, order your parts in a similar way that I show you. Now, the order for you may depend on your character's pose, but if your avatar takes on a neutral stance like mine, I think this should resonate. The typical order goes: back hair, bow tie if there is any, coat tail or cape, back arm, back hand, back leg, back foot, torso, front leg, front foot, belt or skirt, front arm, scarf or cravat, head, rear ear, face, front hair, accessories, weapons or props, and front hand. Head down to the 3 opacity squares next to background and tap on the opaque white square to change the background. Scroll to your reference layer, which I put at the top, and turn its visibility back on. We are now going to scale and translate each part so that it fits almost exactly into its place on the reference screenshot. I would start from the bottommost layer, the back hair, and work my way to the top. To do this, tap the compass-like tool on the right sidebar, and you'll see 2 options: a magnifying glass and a rotation symbol. Tap on the magnifying glass to resize the image, tap on the rotation symbol to rotate it, and drag your finger across the screen to move the image. A useful organization tool is the canvas, which is located at the bottom right of the pop-up menu here. When you tap on it, it resizes your canvas back to its original size before the zooming in and out. If your character takes on a bow-legged stance like mine, you can use the reflection tool to mirror the back foot. Tapping the flip layer horizontal tool, which is located below the compass on the sidebar, will reflect it horizontally. You may also find it helpful to use the rotation tool. After you are finished, turn off the visibility of the reference layer. Since my eyebrows are now gone, I'm going to move the face layer over the front hair layer. We are ready to trace now. Again, I would start from the bottom and work my way up to the top with the back hair. Tap on that layer and turn off the visibility of all the other layers. We will be tracing over each layer individually to create the line art parts for our animation. Click on the plus sign to add a new layer for our line art outline. Use the bar to adjust the pen thickness until you find one you are comfortable with. I typically use the dip pen hard version as the lines are more sharp and precise. Now using your finger, trace over the lines of the Gacha screenshot to create the line art. Feel free to add your own flair to it if you wish. It is useful to adjust the transparency of the layer we are tracing over to your preference. I prefer mine to be around anywhere from 40 to 60%. When you are finished with the line art of one layer, I recommend you to rename that layer for the sake of organization to make things easier. After that, turn off the visibility of the screenshot layer and the line art layer of that one part and jump to the next part, which for me is the bow tie. Drawing hands can be rather difficult, so if you are dissatisfied with the size of the hand or its proportion to the arm, it can be helpful to use the lasso tool to grab the area you want to resize. You can use the tool to grab it again and again to make sure you have everything inside the lasso. Just like you have done before, copy and paste the area inside the lasso onto a new layer. Click on the original line art layer and tap on the clear layer tool located at the top of the right sidebar to delete that portion you pasted from the original layer. Then resize the pasted portion to your preference. Go back and forth between the two layers using the eraser and pen tools to erase any excess or add any missing lines. Be sure to be on the newly pasted layer and click the Merge Layer Down tool just above the trash can on the sidebar to conjoin the two layers again. In addition, after you trace the backhand, you can duplicate the line art layer and use the flip layer horizontal tool again to reflect the duplicate horizontally. This becomes the line art for the front hand, and you can move it up to the layer above the front hand Gacha screenshot. You can do the same for the arms by duplicating the line art layer for the back arm, flipping the duplicate horizontally, and moving it above the front arm screenshot. You can do the same for the legs. feet, eyes, eyebrows, and symmetrical accessories such as glasses. For animation purposes, create 3 line art layers for the face, one for the mouth, one for the eyes, and one for the eyebrows. For the eyebrows, it's best to start with the left eyebrow because it is larger and can be shrunken. When you are finished tracing it, duplicate the line art layer and flip it horizontally. Then click on the compass tool to drag it just over its place in the screenshot. You may then choose the perspective option in the middle here and use it to make the right eyebrow narrower to fit the proportions of the face. Do the same for the eyes, but do not add the irises before you duplicate. Flip horizontally, move, and resize. After the right eye is pasted, then trace over the irises. For accessories such as glasses, if your character wears any, tap on the ruler tool here on the top right sidebar. Select the oval near the right and a red oval will appear on the screen. Drag the plus sign in the middle to the middle of one lens. Use the plus signs around the oval to stretch it to fit the glass. Trace over the screenshot using the tool. Then duplicate, move, and make narrow. When you are done, it's time to start coloring and shading. Go back down to the bottommost layer, which for me is the back hair screenshot, and create a new layer for the shading. It should be under the outline. Turn off all the other layers except the outline and your current layer. Set the visibility of the screenshot layer to 100% and turn it off. Scroll all the way to the top and tap on the selection layer. While you are in this layer, tap on all the spaces that you want to shade using the bucket tool. Then go back to your shading layer at the bottom. Turn the visibility of the screenshot below it back on. Tap on the eyedropper tool and click on a precise area of the screenshot that has the color you need for the shading. Once done, turn the visibility of the screenshot off. Select your paintbrush and color in every part of the selected area. I always resort to the dip pen soft version to do the shading and lighting. To do shading, tap on the pen and click the rightward arrow. Click the settings icon at the right and change the blending mode to multiply. I pick whether or not the light should come from the right or left. If the light comes from my right, then I will do my shading on the left because only the portion in the shadows is dark. I trace around every left edge in the selected area. Then to do the lighting, click the pen settings open again and change the blending mode to add. Trace around every right edge with the pen. When you are done shading each and every part, delete all the screenshots in the project. Make sure to merge every outline to every shading using the merge layer down tool to make individual parts. Turn the visibility of all the parts back on. It is time to begin animating. The first animation technique that we will go over is movement and rotation, which is necessary for tweening. Begin by clicking the arrow at the bottom right and then tapping on Save as Transparent PNG to create the first frame for the animation. Select the layer of the body part that you want to move. I picked my front hand. Tap on the compass tool and click on the rotation icon. Using your fingers, slowly rotate the part slightly. If you hold a prop, rotate that one too and translate it if you have to. For smooth effects, start the animation with smaller movements and exponentially make the movements bigger. It's like an object falling from the sky. The closer it gets to the ground, the faster it falls. Be sure to tap Save as Transparent PNG after every movement. It is really helpful to jump back and forth between photos and Ibis Paint to make sure everything is in check. Second technique is blinking. Be sure to tap on the eyes layer and click the compass tool once more. Go to perspective mode and compress the eyes from top to bottom. Save as Transparent PNG, compress even more, and save as Transparent PNG. Next we are going to make the closed eye frame. I'm clicking the undo button to undo the compressing so the eyes are their original form when I need to animate them again. To make the closed eyes, duplicate the eyes layer and turn off the visibility of the original layer. On the duplicate, we will erase everything below the upper eyelashes so the upper eyelashes become the closed eyes. Through this, we extract the upper eyelashes of the original to create the image of the closed eyes. In the end we will have 7 frames total for the blinking motion. With the compass tool, we will drag the closed eyes downward to about the same position the last frame of eyes was. Set to perspective mode again to compress the closed eyes. Save as transparent PNG and click undo or stretch the compressed closed eyes back to its original form. Save as another transparent frame. We have to open the eyes again, so turn off the visibility of the closed eyes and turn on the visibility of the open eyes. Compress the open eyes using the compass tool in perspective mode. Save as a transparent frame and click undo to revert the compression. Save as transparent PNG. You are done with the blinking. I am applying the same rotation and translation animation I demonstrated earlier to my back arm and back hand. You can use this animation to shift between different poses if you move and rotate all the necessary parts for the pose. And of course, checking how the animation flows by going to photo library and sliding the bar of photos is also very useful. Next up is the head tilt. To do this, we will have to rotate the head, rear hair, back hair, front hair, eyes, mouth, eyebrows, and existing head accessories. Tap on the compass tool for each layer we will rotate and use the rotation function to do so. Keep the initial rotation small and gradually get larger as we approach the ending frame. You may also move the parts along with the rotations if you wish. It doesn't matter what order you decide to rotate the parts in or the direction your character's head tilts toward. Have a neutral starting frame and an ending frame with the character's head at the end of multiple frame rotation. When you finish the tilt, we need to animate the back and front hair's reaction to motion. If your head tilts backward or lifts up, the hair goes backward too. If your head tilts forward or bends down, the hair goes forward as well. My head tilts forward, so my hair will go forward. Use the compass and rotation tool and be sure to save as a transparent PNG after each rotation. The hair must fall back to its original place, so click on the undo button to undo the rotations. Save to photos per rotation of both front and back hair until both are back in default. The fourth technique we will demonstrate is flipping. This could be flipping your head, your leg, or your arm. I'm going to flip my back foot horizontally to face the right rather than the left. First, move the part slightly in the opposite direction of the orientation you will flip to. Save as a transparent frame. Then click on the flip layer horizontal tool to flip the part. Move the part back to where it belongs and save as another transparent PNG. You may move and rotate the part to your preference. I'm moving my back foot inward to shift my pose, and I'm going to move and rotate my front leg, front foot, and coat tail as well to transition into the pose. I'm just animating my eyes closed as the next part of the animation. The final animation we'll go over is moving the mouth, which is useful for lip sync. I will be doing this with merely 2 additional mouths. Reopen the Gacha Club app and navigate to head, then face. Tap on mouth and select an open mouth of your choice to begin the lip sync. Once selected, tap the eye icon on the sidebar near the character and take a screenshot. Then pick a closed mouth and capture another screenshot. We'll now add the screenshots into our project and work with them one at a time. Tap the camera icon to insert the screenshot of your character with the open mouth. Click the green check mark and move the screenshot to the top of the project. Turn its visibility off. Create a new layer and color it blank white entirely, then move that layer just below the fresh screenshot layer. This will make it easier to erase everything apart from the mouth on the screenshot. On the screenshot layer, use the bucket eraser tool to eradicate the face. Then use the eraser pen tool to erase away everything else apart from the mouth. We will trace over the mouth on a separate layer, color it, and shade it just like we did with our line art before. When you are done editing the screenshot of the mouth into a new separate part, move the layer down to the layer above the original mouth layer. Turn off the visibility of the blank white layer and use the compass tool to move and resize the screenshot mouth to its appropriate place. Then turn off the visibility of the original mouth. Create a new layer for the line art and reduce the opacity of the screenshot layer. Trace over the mouth. Then create a new layer and move it below the line art layer like you did before. Set the opacity of the screenshot to 100% and turn off its visibility. Go to selection layer and select the part you wish to color and shade. Select the color by using the eyedropper tool on the screenshot and color with a pen of your choice. Shade and add lighting accordingly. Merge the line art down to the shading and coloring and delete the screenshot. To transition from one mouth to another, first diminish the starting mouth by compressing it using the compass perspective tool. Save as a transparent frame. Then turn off the visibility of that mouth and turn on the visibility of the second mouth. Diminish that too by compressing it and save. Make it wider and taller with the compass perspective tool and save. You may move the mouth with the compass tool to your preference if you wish. To transition into the next mouth, first compress this one. Then repeat the same process again for the closed mouth. And with that, we are finally done with our animation. Head back to Gacha Club and capture a screenshot of the green screen empty background. Then head to CapCut and import the green screen into a new project. Set the ratio to 16:9 and resize the image of the green screen so it fits into the video canvas. Click on the overlay option on the bottom sidebar and click Add Overlay. Import the first transparent frame into the project. Adjust the size of the image so it is large enough to fit the CapCut canvas. The app will let you know when it fits just right. Shorten the duration of the image to the shortest possible time by dragging the right side of the image panel to the left until it stops. Continue to add all of your animation frames and make sure to resize and shorten them. After you have imported all of them, click play to make sure the animation goes smoothly and you have not made any mistakes. Export your project and create a new project. For the image you will import, select a background of your choice in your photo gallery. Click Add and adjust the ratio of the canvas to 16:9 if you wish to, although other ratios work too. Tap Overlay again and add the overlay of the green screen video we just exported. Resize. Tap Cutout on the bottom sidebar, and tap Chroma key to remove the background. Set the shadow and intensity to your preference. Make sure no green screen is visible, but also make sure that color has not been taken away from the video within the green screen. Resize the overlay, and when you are satisfied with it, you may export it. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask in the comments.
Au revoir.